Chase Liak with the blue futon. We're gonna do something a little bit different. I received some criticism in the comments to do something a little bit better, so that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna focus a little bit more on the 3D, and as well as do a spoiler talk of Doctor Strange. So let's get started. First off, when I did my first review of the 3D, we're going to talk about 3D first. I talked about if you like Sam Raimi's style of directing and the dimensions he does with the depth, then you're going to like the 3D effects in this movie. AKA Evil's Dead, apeshit crazy through the woods, the wiry in and out style motion. If you've seen the new Doctor Strange, it's also where Wanda is also like seeing all the dead people around her, that whole in and out, as well as being in the house and being by the stairwell and doing stuff like that. If you know Sam Raimi's style of directing and his depth perception of how he does his camera, you're going to enjoy the 3D. Some 3D is going to be subjective to other people. For example, let me look at some 3D movies. Legend of the Guardian in 3D. I absolutely love that movie for the 3D spectacle. Then you can look at like 47 Ronin 3D. Not a good thing because that was done in post-production and it just doesn't look right. Yeah, every 3D movie, in my opinion, has a depth perception of you can see what's in the background and you see what's in the foreground. And there is some depth perception in all 3D movies, but it's how it is done. And that is my thing. So if you like Sam Raimi's style of in and out thing, it's going to look good. Like you're going to see it in Avatar 3D. You're going to get it in like in Legend of the Guardian 3D. There's Dune 3D. There's a lot of post-production 3D. There's stuff done with 3D glass or 3D cameras like Transformers 3 and like coming out of the plane and doing stuff like that. So there's very much different 3D, and I do think you either like 3D or you don't. So with this movie, I think you're going to like 3D as a whole. Yes, there's going to be some scenes where it's a lot better with the 3D and some scenes where it's not as good with 3D. And I think that's with every single movie you will see. There's going to be scenes where you're like, oh my god, that is popping out. For example, Legends of the Guardian, the owl movie. There's a scene where the owl is flying at night with like, I want to say just sparkles coming out, and that is popping 3D. With Transformers 3, there's a scene where, they're jumping out of the helicopter, out of the plane, and they're actually using a real 3D camera. Absolutely fantastic. Then there's other parts of movies, like you look at Dune 3D. That is not the best 3D because it's more of a Denis Villeneuve does a huge, massive, backdrop and a massive, just wide angles. But there's nothing that should be popping out. Yeah, there's a couple here and there. But as someone put in the comments out, for me, Dune is a window 3D movie. While like Transformers, while Legends of the Guardian is more of a pop 3D. With the pop 3D, I think most animated movies are pop 3D. If we're gonna use those type of definitions, it's because it is done like not post production. It's done actual in the computer, doing it in that style of filmmaking. So with Doctor Strange, there are some window and pop. Let's put it that way if we want to go with those definitions. For the window, there's going to be like the wedding scene or the scenes where they're just randomly talking. That yes, nothing's really happening in the background. So that's why it's going to be, kind of window 3D and nothing else happening. But when they start adding the special effects, like with the one-eyed monster in the bus scene, when they talk about the scene where he's in that house doing all the dimension shit and having the Evil Dead stuff happening around WandaVision, that is good pop 3D because it goes in and out, and I'm going to keep saying that a million times. You have the Sam Raimi in, out, wiry type of camera movement. And when you have that style of camera movement and wiry, just in, out, that's the pop 3D that when I say that, if you like Sam Raimi's directorial style, 3D works because what his directorial style is that wonky, wiry, just bonkers shit. And if you like that style of filmmaking of Sam Raimi, you're going to like that style of 3D filmmaking, which this movie does. So overall, should you watch this in 3D? I think you should, just because there is a lot of wonky Sam Raimi stuff that it does show off 3D in and out. Yes, there's a weird 3D scene with musical notes, and it works, but it's still very odd, and I don't know if it really feels in place with that style of filmmaking. But when you go into like the whole weird thing in the trailer where you see like 17 arms, yeah, stuff like that works with this movie. But like I said, 3D is very subjective. What I think is popping, you might be like, I don't see anything popping. So that's why with 3D, it is hard for me to go like really in depth, saying like, you really need to watch it because that note scene in the movie or that crazy arm scene in the movie or that scene where all the dead people are surrounding Wanda, you should totally watch it because it is fucking popping. But then when you watch the theater, you might be like, I didn't see shit. So, just like movie reviews, 3D is very subjective. And also with 3D, I really think it's either A, you're going to watch it in 3D, or B, you're not. Like, there's no in between with that. So, there you go. 3D, overall, 3D, very subjective. Either A, you're really going to watch it in 3D because you want to watch it in 3D, or B, you're not. Even though I would say with the IMAX theater near me, there's 5 times, like at 10, 1, 4, 7, 10. The only one in 3D is the 1 o'clock. So they're not really promoting the 3D as much as other movies are. So let's end with the 3D and go now into the spoiler talk. So I've received also criticism from some of the comment sections, like in other movies, of what I think the spoilers are. So with this movie, Doctor Strange isn't the smartest. He feels like everyone's putting blame on him, even though he really didn't do a lot of the stuff that's going on in this movie. He's getting blamed for like the WandaVision shit, the other stuff happening in other universes of doing the Dark Book thing. But that's not really happening in any of the timeline. So other people are like, Doctor Strange, you're at fault. And you don't know what you're talking about. But help us because you don't know what you're talking about. There's little dialogue scenes like that where you're just like, I don't know what you're talking about. Like the whole, like, there's a scene of them in a pizza shop and Doctor Strange is like, what is going on? And Benedict, Wong, and America are like, how does he not know this? And how does he not know Spanish? And you're just like, well, maybe because Doctor Strange is kind of doesn't need to know everything, but he's like the Sorcerer Supreme, so isn't he supposed to be like the big bad magic person? Well, of course with Benedict Wong, but it just feels like they kind of put him like he's the one to blame for everything, and even though he's the one to blame and everyone's pointing fingers at him, the people pointing fingers at him are like, how are you gonna fix it? So you're just like, what are we trying to do here? And like I said, I do have criticisms with America Chavez. Huge criticisms. A, she's in there for an agenda. I'm sorry, she truly is. She's in there to promote diversity. She's in there for an agenda and for equality and wokeness. She is in there for all of them. A, the pin. B, the parents. Do I care about the parents? No. They need to flesh out her storyline, though. The storyline of her learning her powers is because a bee landed on her while picking flowers. It's the stupidest fucking arc ever. Then her parents disappear. So, and she was like 6 or 7 years old. So A, either have a storyline where she only went through a couple things. But B, so you're telling me at 6 and 7, that is the first time she had an emotional breakdown with fear? Was with a bee? You could have done a little bit more traumatizing, like, I don't know, Thanos making shit disappear, like, and everything, and then she just fucking goes crazy, and that would have been a little bit more better of she opened a portal and one of her parents went through the portal while one of them disappeared because of Thanos, and now her parents are in completely different spectrums of the universe, and that way you can do a storyline of America Chavez of like she needs to go through the multiple universes to at least find one of her parents, and then maybe 2 of her parents could be found. It's like there's so much better choices of just being like, oh, B, portal, parents gone. You're just like, that's what we're going with. That's what we're going with. And it's her, like I said, her having the pin and everything like that, and it's just like her character is like, even she was in there, people are like, but she was in there to open the portals. No, she was in there to get Doctor Strange from point A to point B and to be saved by Wanda. That is the only reason she's in the movie, and that's her only character arc. Seriously, save me, get Doctor Strange from point A to point B. That is all she does in this movie. Like, seriously, please tell me more what she does in the movie. You can't, because that's all she does. And you might be like, oh, but she does this, but let's be honest. She needed a better character arc. She'd add maybe about 20 more minutes of maybe how a plan with her teaming up with Doctor Strange of like, okay, how can we go through these different universes? Because now he has a third eye. Or maybe they're going to continue on with this Charlize Theron character at the post-credit scene, but I have no idea what she's supposed to be. No freaking clue. And we'll put that there. Where do these monsters come from? Maybe I'm just like not much into the Marvel lore as a lot of people, but this one-eyed monster and how it was not seen and only America Chavez could see it because they're jumping through dimensions. When they're jumping through other dimensions, I think she went through like 68 or something like that. Even the one with Bruce Campbell's dimension, there was no monsters. Even the one with Doctor Strange with the third eye battle scene, there were no monsters. So where are these monsters coming from? Maybe I missed it as a whole, but I don't think they explained it because of that reason. Also, the Axe character, that you see in the trailer, where does he come from? Like, what dimension is he from? I don't know. They don't tell me. Also, another thing, if you've never seen WandaVision, you're not going to understand the kids scene and other stuff like that. This is very much a WandaVision, the movie. One of my friends, Chris Judge, on Twitter, he actually said that, so I'm kind of copying from him. And it's very, very true that this is a WandaVision movie. This isn't a continuation of the first Doctor Strange, guys, where Ejiofor, his character is literally like, I'm going to kill all the sorcerers. Like, that is his plot point at the end of the first one. They drop it in this one. That doesn't even fucking exist in this one anymore. So I think, like, there is multiple storylines of what the producers wanted to do, Kevin Feige, what Scott Derkinson wanted to do, which he wanted Nightmare in this movie. So like I said, he wanted something more grounded, and then what Sam Raimi wanted to do. This one was very conflicting of what other people wanted to do in this storyline. So yeah, it's very much a WandaVision movie. So expect that going in, as well as Doctor Strange. I mean, yeah, it's a Doctor Strange movie, but no shit, it's like 50% Doctor Strange, 50% WandaVision. I'm putting America kind of on the, they're mixed in between of all those different characters. But overall, I understand how people can love this movie and think it's an okay movie. I do think Sam Raimi spices it up a little bit, but this is fucking weird. Like, did you need the battle sequence with musical notes? I don't know. I really don't know if you needed that battle sequence or not. And like I said, as a person that doesn't know much about the Marvel world, I guess I just go and watch the movies. I've read some comic books, but nothing ridiculous. Like, why this new Doctor Strange now has the third eye, and now we just have weird shit happening. So I'm like, I don't know where we're taking this universe anymore. Like, are we getting too convoluted now? Because even though Avengers Endgame, you had a bunch of characters, it didn't feel convoluted. This one, it feels like they're doing so much, and you're just like, where the fuck are we going? Seriously, please tell me where we're going with this movie. So, with spoilers, overall, I do think they gave Doctor Strange a weak storyline. They put all the blame on it. Oh, sorry, I forgot one more thing, but after I do this. But for Doctor Strange, they put all the blame on him while they have other characters blaming him, but telling him to fix it. Like, well, it's your fault, so how are you going to do it to fix it? But he's like, I don't know what I did. I opened the dimension in Spider-Man No Way Home, but we're not going to fucking talk about that in this movie at all. We're going to make this more about Wanda, so everything that happened in Spider-Man and then the first Doctor Strange really doesn't come up. They bring like, oh, you opened the universes and that was bad. And scene. America Chavez, go through all the different universes, 67 of them, even though she might have been the one that started all this commotion. But it's Doctor Strange's fault, because we must blame the man. I don't know. For that reason. But yeah, anyway, Rachel McAdams is great in this movie. It is a WandaVision movie. Like I said, America Chavez was in there to go help Doctor Strange get to point A to point B, and to be saved by Doctor Strange, even though we blame Doctor Strange for the shit he's doing, but not America Chavez going through random universes. I don't know. Now let's talk about the cameos. Okay, John Krasinski will be the Fantastic Four, main character, Dr. Reed. Is he a good choice? Everyone likes him. But the thing with this movie, he was very vanilla. He was very down to earth, had one tone. And yeah, so with that, I hope he continues on. And that is the reason why John Watt is not directing Fantastic Four anymore. Because John Krasinski is about to direct Fantastic Four, period up. I actually liked the Illuminati's Captain Marvel over our Captain Marvel. So I'll put it that way. Agent Carter, I think, is pretty cool. And then Patrick Stewart does continue playing Patrick Stewart as Professor X. And there's this Black Lightning, the fork guy, I'll put it that way, fork on his face. Yeah, some brutal shit happening in that scene. But overall, I do think Doctor Strange is a fun movie. Could I watch it again? Absolutely. Did like how I would get mad at the woke shit bother me from not watching it? No, I'll still watch it just because it's very subtle. Even though it's throughout the movie, it's very subtle with wokeness. But with the spoilers, I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed more of the 3D talk. And I will make myself a little bit better reviewer with reading the comments and trying to do better as a whole. Chase Doc with the Blue Futon. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think of Blue Futonatopia. You Blue Futonians. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. And this was supposed to come out yesterday, but I had a power outage for 12 hours. From 5 p.m. to 4 a.m. So 11 hours. So I'm actually terrified to look in my fridge, guys. I haven't showered in a minute. I'm dirty. I'm washing my bed sheets. I'm taking a shower after this. Let's do this.